What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Guitar Talk with me, Dan, where today I'm reviewing one of these. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, roll that intro. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So today I've got a brand new release from Fender at the time of recording this video. I will be doing an honest review of the American Professional Classic Telecaster. So before we get into the specs and stuff, this is I say new series of guitars that Fender have released, because essentially this for me is just like a return of the good old classic American standard series. This is a straight up American no frills Telecaster that's got no push pull pots, no compound radius fretboards, no noiseless pickups or anything like that. It is just a straight up American made classic Telecaster guitar. It's, from what I can see, they've discontinued the American Performer series, so this is your new entry point into American made Fender guitars, but it's a welcome return for me for something that has been missing from the Fender USA lineup. Checking out the specs at the body on this. This is an older body. I don't know how it looks on camera, but this is the faded black color. Now, when I saw pictures, it looked a little bit like the charcoal frost metallic color they used to, but it's nothing like that. It's more of a dark gray, dark bluey kind of flat color. Looks really cool in the flesh. We've got a Fender bridge system on here with the classic Tele saddles. It's through body strung. We've got a volume, tone, three-way switch and Fender Coastline pickups, the 63 Coastline pickups. Heading over to the neck side of things, we've got a maple neck with a modern C-shaped profile. This one's got the rosewood fretboard. You can get them with a maple fretboard as well. We've got 22 medium jumbo frets. It's got Fender tuners on there, and we've got a 9.5 inch radius and a 25.5 inch scale. Sounds and tones that you can get out of this guitar, it is classic Telecaster all around. Just everything that makes a Telecaster like a workhorse guitar is kind of in this guitar. It is no frills, no noiseless pickups or anything like that. As you can see from the caption in the videos, I was using Tone X and the Joe Satriani selection of amps. There's a great selection of amps in there. Not just like high gain shred stuff, but some like classic Fenders and stuff as well. So I thought that would suit this guitar very, very well for a range of tones. And yeah, I think that came across well. 63 style pickups in here, which I love. They're a little bit darker sounding than 50 style pickups, so you get all of that telly jangle, but without the sort of like harshness and high-endness that you can get on some 50s pickups. Great bridge tone, you can dig in with it, nice and dynamic. The classic in-between telly sound for big open chords. Sounds really nice and articulate, and the neck pickup has got a nice little bit of warmth to it as well. All in all, as I said, just straight up classic Tele workhorse tones. Anything from funky tones, bluesy tones, up to harder rock territory, this guitar can handle absolutely fine. Setup on this one straight out of the box, and remember, this is an honest review. This is not sponsored or anything. We bought this with our own money, and I can only review what comes out of the box that comes to us. And for the most part, this has been set up absolutely fantastic. The action, I'd say, is slightly lower than average, and it doesn't buzz out anywhere. It feels really nice and comfortable to play. The ends of the frets have been dressed really nicely. There's no kind of sharp fret ends or anything like that. The intonation is in, so for the most part, absolutely fantastic and ready to play. The only thing is, the slot on the low E hasn't been cut particularly well, so I think it's got a little bit of an angle on it, so the string isn't sitting in quite as well as it should, so it's a little bit higher than the rest of them, which unfortunately means for the first few frets, unless you play really lightly, then it goes really sharp. That's something that we can address. Our wonderful Guitar Tech G will sort that out, and it will play lovely by the time we're finished. But it's, you know, at £1,500, ideally something that you shouldn't be having to do, because it can be a bit of a specialist thing to do. But other than that, set up absolutely wonderfully and feels fantastic to play. Build quality on this one straight out of the box. Again, it seems like it's been put together really, really well. The grade of maple that they've used is really nice. The rosewood they've used on the fretboard seems to be a really nice bit of rosewood. The body is nice and resonant, and the joint between the neck and the body is nice and snug. It's all feels really reassuring. The electrics that they've used, all the hardware, very good quality. The weight of the guitar, it is not a heavy guitar, this particular one. I don't weigh guitars. Some people will say, well, yeah, but how much does it weigh? Doesn't matter. Everyone is different. Everyone is a different piece of wood. This one, nice and lightweight. It's not feather light, but it's not going to be taxing on the shoulder or the back. You know, you can fling it around and everything with absolute ease. You might get one out of the box and it might be back-breakingly heavy. So I don't weigh guitars, but this particular one, nice, lightweight, resonant piece of wood. So yeah, in terms of build quality, I cannot fault this at all. There's no blemishes in the finish or anything like that. The frets that they've used, nice and smooth, just an all-round great guitar, and what you'd expect for the price point that this guitar is at. Would I be happy to play one of these live? And by that, as usual, I mean if you gave me one of these or a couple of these and said, right, you are doing a run of shows, you are doing a tour or whatever, and you're only allowed to play the new Fender American Professional Classic Telecaster and nothing else, would I be happy to play this guitar? Absolutely, yes. There's not really anything I would change about it. The pickup selection is really nice. I know I'm going to get some great tones out of it. If I want to go to the harder rock territory, then yeah, humbuckers would be nice. But in terms of a single coil guitar, this is a great feeling and sounding guitar. So if you're looking for something that's going to sound great and feel great, and is it going to be a gig-worthy instrument, tour-worthy, recording-worthy, once you get that nut issue sorted out, then yeah, absolutely, I would be more than happy to play this live. Is there anything that I don't like about the guitar? Now, being completely honest with you, I am more of a fan of maple fretboards on Telecasters. I prefer the way it feels and the snap you get from maple. That's nothing to say that I don't like rosewood as well, but I just prefer the maple. But you know, there is a maple option, so that is not overly a big problem, but we just happen to get the rosewood one in. Other than that, there is nothing that I don't like. I think the pickups sound great. I think the controls, everything feels good about this guitar. It is really, really cool. The only thing that I don't like, which I guess is nothing against the guitar itself, it's more the name of it. I mentioned this in the Strat review that I did as well. I've never liked the branding of American Professional that Fender came up with years ago. When they ditched the American Special and American Standard branding and went to American Performer and American Professional. I never liked that because I don't know if it was Fender's intention or if it was them trying to be clever with some subliminal marketing or anything like that, but it always felt like a bit of a dig from Fender that they were saying, like, unless you spend the extra money, then you're not playing a professional instrument or you're not a professional at what you do. And I never got on board with that. I think it was a bit of silly marketing that they did, and they could have come up with something a bit more inclusive and a bit nicer. But yeah, it's that. I mean, that's just my own personal view. I think this is a great guitar. I think the Performer that used to be below it was a great guitar. I think some of the Mexican guitars are great as well. But that's the only thing that I don't like. It's just the branding of American Professional. Is the guitar worth the money? Now, in the UK, these come in at around £1,500 at launch. Obviously, that might go up a little bit. More typically, once it's been out for a few months, it tends to drop in price a little bit. So you may find that it ends up being around the $1,399 mark in a few months. But in terms of like value for money on the guitar, there is a point that I think some people will be annoyed about, which I will walk off camera now and get. So it comes with this very slightly padded classic, which I guess professional classic Fender gig bag, which is the same gig bag that the Mexican standards and stuff used to come with. It's not the gig bag that like the Acoustasonic series, which is more padded and stuff, comes with. It's just a classic Fender gig bag. Throw that over there. And I know that will wind some people up. I said in the Strat video that I filmed a few days prior to this that, you know, Andy's going to be furious because this is the kind of thing that winds him up. And to be fair, he was here yesterday and he was half listening, and I said to him, like, yeah, we've got the new American classics in. They come with a gig bag and stuff, and he wasn't really listening. And he was just like, yeah, whatever. And I went and got the guitar from him and said, yeah, give it a play, see what you think. And he was just like, where's the hard case? Like, it comes with that. How much is it? And I said, it's 1,500 quid. And he was furious that it comes with a gig bag and not a hard case, because traditionally a American-made Fender, which I would consider this a replacement for the old American Standard, would come with a hard case. It doesn't bother me because when I go to gigs, I take padded soft cases 90% of the time. I put them on the passenger seat in my car. I might put them in the boot or whatever. And it's great. I can take 4 guitars to a gig if I want to. I can look like an idiot, sling them all on my back, get my fractal case, hold my fractal, and just walk into a venue with everything in one go. Whereas hard cases are more cumbersome to carry. They're more of a pain in the butt to store away at a gig, especially if you haven't got a decent green room or anything. So I like padded soft cases. But that being said, the price difference between a decent padded soft case and a generic third-party like hard case isn't that far apart these days. So it would be nice to have the option of the hard case and then maybe buy a decent padded soft case if you want one. But that's just me. In terms of the guitar itself, so £1,500 in the UK. This, at the moment, unless they come out with something to replace the Performer series, this is the jumping on point for American-made Fenders. And it's, with prices going up and stuff, for an American-made guitar, whether that matters to you or not, some people are just like, I only want American-made, I don't want any of the Far Eastern stuff. Nothing wrong with Far Eastern guitars, they are fantastic. For people that want American guitars, this seems to be the price point for jumping onto American-made guitars these days. A Gibson Les Paul Studio is around this kind of price. A PRS S2 guitar is a bit more expensive than this. And this is the launch price of the guitar, and typically after a few months, they tend to drop a couple £100. So I wouldn't be surprised in 6 months' time to see this at $1,399. Some places might even have them on sale for $1,299. At that price point, even at £1,500, I think this is a great guitar. It's a great American-made guitar, and compared to other American-made guitars, I wouldn't play this and go, oh, it's really lacking, it's not worth the money. I think at this price point, it is very, very good. I think it's worth every penny. So there we go, that is the American Professional Classic Series Telecaster. It is a great guitar and just instantly feels like a classic workhorse Telecaster. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did you get one? Have you got like an old American standard? How does it feel in comparison to that? Did you have any issues with like the nut out the box or anything? Let me know what you think. I'm really interested to hear. Other than that, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.